My Life Part 2. After we were reunited, my child and I focused on learning the language. We took extra lessons so school wouldn't be hard later. Each lesson made us feel more at home. And every small step forward showed how strong and determined we were to start fresh together. Life moved on after I got my Idris back. I did my best to stay strong for my children. Even when things were difficult, they were my reason to keep going. One day I met a new sister in Islam. She was a white woman who had recently converted to our beautiful faith. She had twins and was married. But she was in a desperate situation. She had been kicked out of her home and needed help. I wanted to support her because, as a Muslim, I felt it was my duty. I let her stay in my house while I stayed at my mum's for the weekend. After a few days, my mum told me she couldn't handle it anymore and insisted I go back home. She thought it was foolish of me to leave my house for someone else. I told the sister I needed to return home, but she begged me to give her one more day. I reluctantly agreed. As a Muslim, I couldn't stay with her because she was married, and it wouldn't have been appropriate. When I came back the next day, I couldn't believe what I saw. She had robbed me. She took my children's clothes, toys, my sofas, almost everything valuable. I stood there in shock, hurt, and disbelief. How could someone I helped do this to me? It was painful, but I reminded myself of something I had learned many times: every hardship brings me closer to Allah. This situation was no different. As a single mother, I had to start over again. I didn't let my pride stop me from asking for help. I told my story to friends and sought support. Through this, I met kind and generous people who helped me rebuild. They gave me back what I had lost, filled my home with warmth, and even became friends. Their kindness reminded me that Allah's mercy is always there. Even in tough times, what I lost was temporary, but the love and support I gained were far more valuable. Over time, my children and I found peace and built anew with a nicer family. Just the four of us, we filled our lives with love and learning. During these quiet years, I focused entirely on my children and gave them all of me. But as time went on, I realized something was missing. I had forgotten what it felt like to be truly loved by someone other than my kids. Then, unexpectedly, I found love again. This brother was much younger than me, but he was patient, kind, and understanding. He made me feel cared for in a way I hadn't felt before. What mattered even more was how warmly he treated my children. He loved and accepted them as if they were his own. After getting married, we became a family filled with love, respect, and care. For the first time in years, my children and I felt deeply loved. We hoped this happiness would last forever. But life had other plans. One day, he told me he had to leave. He said his parents didn't accept me with children and they are more important than our relationship to him. I tried to understand, and in some ways, I did, but his decision broke our hearts. It was a loss we hadn't expected, and it left us feeling lost and hurt. Not long after this, the police came with unexpected news. The father of my youngest child, Noah, had passed away. To be honest, I didn't feel much about his death. There was no sadness. What stayed on my mind was how I would one day tell Noah that his father was no longer here. How would I explain such a big absence?